Yeah, I just like, I don't know, .com, just like, and that's what showed up.
Let's just see what
The first two
happens.
things I saw were the Echo and then Top Gear. That was
Yeah,
perfect.
that'll do. So what have we got here? So now I didn't send you the list of the trailers that in error. My part. I was sending to you. I forgot. Um, so let's just go on to
All right.
um, so let's just go on to the big news of the week. Starting out with the biggest story. Fidel Castro died. Um,
I honestly thought he was already dead. Just so
yeah, I don't know why. I think he's one of those people like Nelson Mandela. People thought died, and it's like, oh, he actually is dead now.
Well, for him, because he wasn't. It's not like he was still president. Like he wasn't really doing anything. His like brother is president. I don't know.
Yeah, like I understand.
I
Like,
also wasn't sure. Were Cubans happy that he died or not happy that he died? I was like not sure about that.
yeah, I work with a Cuban girl. She was like indifferent.
That's how I feel like most people should be. Like,
Yeah,
especially if you live in America, calm down. Or you should be happy.
yeah, I would
But he
just be
also
like, whatever.
kept Cuba as an independent, like Caribbean country when most could not. So
Yeah,
that he did that well enough.
yeah. You hear they're remaking Escape to New York?
With who?
They didn't say that they're remaking Escape to New
I mean,
York.
did I say who was directing it, or just that they're
They
like
just said
they
they're
just?
doing it.
Okay. That could go either way.
Yeah. So before we get into the news, though, I want to have well, besides the Fidel Castro, I just wanted to add to the way. I didn't want to dwell too long on the death of Fidel Castro, but couldn't really not acknowledge that it happened. I want to acknowledge something monumental that's going on CW, and I hate it. Because they're doing, you know how every season now they have a crossover for Flash and Arrow? Well,
Yes.
now they expanded it to 4 nights. Because it starts on Monday with Supergirl, then goes to Tuesday with Flash, then Wednesday with Arrow, then Thursday it ends with Legends of Tomorrow. So tonight, the night it ends. Here's my question. Why did you need to have your 100th episode of Arrow line up with the crossover episode? Because,
To
like, I understand that you need to keep progressing the plot of your own show during a crossover. So, like, in Flash, they're continuing the plot line with Wally West getting his powers, and how Cisco is now mad at Barry, and, you know, all that stuff. Like, okay, fine, you gotta continue your plot lines. But it was essentially a clip show. Like, you took an
that sounds
hour
annoying.
out of the crossover to do a clip show about it's basically showing a Flashpoint alternate timeline where the way, for those of you who don't know, the way Oliver Queen gets his, becomes the Green Arrow is he gets shipwrecked on an island, and he's got to learn to survive on the island, and then he gets off the island, and then he goes to become Robin Hood basically and steal from all the rich people who ripped off the poor people in the city in Star City. So the alternate timeline, what happens if he never shipwrecked on the island and just came back?
It was just like a guy.
Yeah, and he was just like a rich guy. Like, great, thanks. Like, I was okay with having this in an episode. If you want to do this in an episode of Arrow, that would be fine. But don't devote time in the crossover where you're gonna have first-time viewers watching this. Don't have the episode centered around how Felicity's the core of how they escape the simulation they're in. That was my other problem with it.
Felicity's the one you don't really like that much, right?
No, because here's the other problem. The show's writers obviously don't keep track of the internal logic of their own show. Because at one point, they show Felicity is still helping the Green Arrow. It's just the Green Arrow is not Oliver Queen, it's John Diggle, Oliver Queen's bodyguard, who wouldn't be in Star City for 5 years if it weren't for Oliver Queen being shipped on the island. So there's problem number one. Problem number two, there's no reason for him to become the Green Arrow. Problem number three, why is Felicity still there at all? Problem number 4.
He's the glue that holds everything together.
How does Felicity have her own company if she's like if Ray Palmer still has Palmer Industries and didn't give it up to her to become Smoke Industries? Then how does she have her business? Whatever. I don't care at this point. Like, it pissed me off so much that this is what you spent. You spent a third of the crossover, because the Supergirl part was just at the end. Barry and Cisco show up like, "Hey, we have aliens invading. We need your help." Like, the Flash one was solid. I did not watch the Legends one yet. That just ended about 2 hours ago at this point. I'm gonna end up watching it tomorrow. But I don't understand how you thought this was a good idea. Like, was it really so much extra work to have the 100th episode be the season finale, the mid-season finale? Like, realign your episode count so that way that happens, or put it before the crossover? Because I understand that you need to hit this for syndication, but why did it need to be in the middle of the crossover? Where it's like, I'm not up to date. I skip to the crossover on Legends and Arrow, then catch up. Like, I watch Flash and Supergirl as it airs, and then catch up with the rest during the mid-season breaks. This is just a waste of time, though. The way they handle it.
Watching the CW.
Well, yeah.
Ooh.
Back to our news. Speaking of the Flash, Mark Hamill is once again reprising his role as the Trickster on the Flash. He's playing the Trickster of Earth 3 this time, and will appear in the season finale and face off against the Flash of Earth 3, who is played by John Wesley Shipp, who is Jay Garrick. Funnily enough, John Wesley Shipp played the Flash on the original Flash TV show from the 1990s, and and that's why Mark Hamill has the job now, because he played the Trickster back then. So it's going to be a reunion of them fighting each other.
That's fun.
So that's
Isn't the Trickster the Joker?
Yeah, kinda.
I heard a thing. It was about the Riddler, and how in comics recently, the Riddler has been like one of the Green Arrow's main villains.
Which I like that better.
And it works better because the Riddler is Batman's villain. Like, he is different from the Joker, but he's like too similar to the Joker. But as for like a Green Arrow villain or like another one, it like just works much better.
Well, from what I was seeing with like from the TV show, the way they handled Count Vertigo in the TV show, Count Vertigo could have been like the Joker to Stephen Amell's Green Arrow, but they killed him off, so it doesn't matter. Like, that was stupid. I don't give them any credit. Did you see the new Wes Anderson commercial?
I don't
Adrian
think
Brody.
I did. What was
I don't know. But H&M. But he has a new commercial starring Adrian Brody, for H&M. It's really you can tell it's Wes Anderson. Like,
yeah,
he's got a very unique style and trains.
He's an auteur.
Trains.
Okay, that's what class ropes me with and trains.
I'm up that. Like, I think Budapest Hotel had a train.
Yes, that was a train. The Darjeeling Limited, that's the one that takes place mostly on a train.
Rushmore has a train.
Where does Rushmore have a train?
I feel like it definitely does.
I don't think it does. Rushmore
definitely has a train in it. We should really just do an author study of Wes Anderson at this point. Like, he really is great at what he does, and he doesn't get enough credit, I don't think. Because like last week when we talked about Kill Bill, like, we wanted to say style over substance, so we really couldn't think of the word that actually applies.
Auteur.
For a lot, and I think style over substance fits more to Wes Anderson. Where, like, his movies aren't particularly deep in terms of the concepts. It's just you can visually look at a Wes Anderson movie and tell it's a Wes Anderson movie. Like,
definitely.
That's the like, he puts more effort into that than actually developing like the characters in his movie and stuff like that.
Alright. Out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Out of 8 films, 1, 2 have trains as a main part of it.
I don't think a trope doesn't need to be a main part.
Okay, even have trains in them. I'm putting Rushmore on the maybe list because I don't remember a train in that.
I feel like there definitely was a train in it.
Bottle Rocket does not. The Bomb does not. The Life Aquatic does not. The Darjeeling it does. Fantastic Mr. Fox.
I think it does.
Not. Well, Moonrise Kingdom does not.
Okay.
And the Grand Budapest Hotel does.
So we're at 4 out of 8.
Maybe 3.
Well, the thing is too, he's what's it called? He has said he loves, like, he only travels by Amtrak.
Okay, that's a little bit annoying.
Doesn't that make...
At least the only thing that's like less efficient than traveling by train is by boat.
No, by bus. I think bus is less efficient than traveling by train.
But it's cheap though. That has that because traveling by train is like ridiculously expensive.
Well, yeah, but like if you're gonna travel across the country, like I'd rather travel by train across the country than travel by bus.
I'd just rather drive or fly.
Well, yeah, flying is ideal.
I think it's cheaper. It's definitely cheaper to fly than take a train across country.
I don't know. I think it'd be cool to do like once.
I drove across country, so I don't need to take a train.
Like take one of those cross country train trips in the like in one of those sleeping cars.
I guess.
They'd be cool to do once and then like never again.
Oh wait, how much do you think this is worth? I don't want this, but I just like came up. It's a keyboard waffle iron, and but it's not like electric. Like it's just like it's like a chunk of metal, and you have to fill it and then close it and put it on a stove.
I would say $50.
You are close. It is on sale for $58.
That's not
originally
worth it.
$70.
That's not worth it.
For a piece of metal that you have to heat up on a stove.
Yep. Big bucks. Let's see. We have some 2 things that are similar in news. Emily Blunt will not be appearing in the sequel to Sicario.
I didn't know there was going to be a sequel.
They are going to make... that was what I thought, too, when I read that article. I did not know that they were going to be making a sequel to Sicario to begin with.
That doesn't feel like a movie that should have a sequel.
It doesn't really need one.
No.
Like, it feels like it ended right where it should have. But then the other thing similar is Ray Fiennes said he'd be open to reprising his role as Lord Voldemort should the situation where he need to arise. Which sounds to me like if he's saying, if you want to do Cursed Child as a movie, like, fuck yeah, let's go.
Or he plays, like, they do a Voldemort flashback, and he plays young Voldemort as, like, in his teens.
Yeah, well, no, they can't do teen, they have to do, like, young adult Voldemort. Or, no, yeah, I think he's too old to play young adult Voldemort. He has to play, like, mid-adult.
It would be really funny.
Play small child Voldemort, he's just walking around on his knees the whole time.
Wait, is that my computer?
And then 2 other things. Rogue One, definitely not getting a sequel, according to Lucasfilm.
Well, the sequel's called Episode 4, A New Hope.
Yeah, exactly. It leads directly into the original Star Wars. I don't understand why anyone thought it was getting a sequel. Then the other big not happening story is the original producers of Back to the Future say they will never, ever, 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 ever reboot the franchise.
Good. I'm proud of them.
So that was what I thought too. Like, good for you. Like, thank you for not taking, ruining it. Like, and then other things. I gotta start putting these in order that I'm gonna do them in.
Did I, speaking of reboots, I forget if I said it on the podcast or you about my Indiana Jones, like, mini rant.
No, I don't think you did. You want to go on your Indiana Jones rant.
It's not even about Indiana Jones. It's just if they replace someone to play Indiana Jones, everyone. If you were to choose an actor right now to play Indiana Jones, who do you think everyone would choose?
Chris Pratt.
Yes, Chris Pratt. But at first I was fine with that, but then I forget what. So definitely a podcast, but I forget which one. Um, they made a point about it. Chris Pratt looking like kind of doofusy or dumb, and I was like thought about Indiana Jones, and Indiana Jones is like a PhD, like a professor.
Yeah.
Could you ever imagine Chris Pratt as a college professor?
I mean, I could.
I don't think so.
I mean, I've had a TA who looked like as doofusy as Chris Pratt. So, like, I guess it is possible. But no, I think, I think Indiana Jones 5 will be the last one. I don't think they're going to be able to, top up his name.
But the Harrison Ford said he'll do it for like until he dies.
Well,
so if he crashes another plane.
Yeah, exactly. And then the next thing with okay, so my last three things are all Star Wars related, which is kind of cool. It usually doesn't happen. Admiral Thrawn. Have we talked about that?
Oh wait, hold on. I think I just watched a video. It was like some Star Wars theory video that included Admiral Thrawn, so you can go. I'll see if it comes up.
Yeah, Admiral Thrawn was before the buyout of Disney, where they made everything non-canon. One of the characters everyone loved from the extended universe. Now, he existed as an admiral in the Imperial Navy between episodes 3 and episode 4, and he had a pretty sizable role there. And that was completely made non-canon. It's been reintroduced though through Star Wars Rebels, and he's now a character in the canon again. And he's also getting a book to reestablish him. So that's all I had on Admiral Thrawn.
On Wikipedia.
Yep, he is now canon again. So that's good. That'll stop some people from bitching. So that's nice. Won't mention any names. Then the other Star Wars, they're kind of related. Kathleen Kennedy, who is head of Lucasfilm, said they are unsure if they're going to continue the main saga films past episode 9. I'm going to reserve judgment on that. Because for me, episode 7 has to be graded on a sliding scale. That now episode 8 doesn't have to be anymore. Because episode 7 had to be rated as the movie that would reinvigorate the Star Wars franchise.
Good job.
Yeah,
that's like how I just described it.
Which is how which is what it had to do. Which a lot of people were like, "Oh, it's derivative of the original. It's the original with a new coat of paint." Yada yada yada. I agree. But the thing is, if they went right out and did something entirely new, then I don't think it would have been well received. Mm-hmm. Not because people don't want new, but because the last time we got something new with Star Wars, we got the prequel trilogy, and that doesn't sit well with some people. Like, episode 3 is a fine movie. We're going to talk about that later. Like, it's not overtly great, but it's not offensively bad like the other ones. It's just dragged down in some parts. But I think if you went all out and tried to do something completely original, it would have got torn to shreds critically, and bad word of mouth would have destroyed that movie. So now, going beyond episode 9, I don't know how I feel about that. I want to see what the first movie, without them having J.J. Abrams with his paws all over it. Like, I want to see how that movie turns out, and then I'll reserve judgment as to whether or not they should continue with the Skywalker saga. Which, by the way, did I ever tell you what my other problem was with J.J. Abrams, with who is Rey's parents?
No, I don't think so.
So Kylo Ren is obviously not the main character, right?
Yeah. I'm agreeing with you.
So, and now, I have two theories. Number one, Kylo Ren is going to be the main character going forward. Because if you look at the prequels, who was not a main character in episode 1, but is a main character in episodes 2 and 3?
Anakin Skywalker.
Exactly. Then Luke's the main character in all of the original trilogy. Now here, mirroring Anakin. Anakin went from light to dark. We have someone going from dark to light. So his is gonna be about his redemption. Or if that's not the case and they don't go that route and they just keep Kylo Ren the bad guy, then and Rey is not Luke's daughter, then I have a problem with that because it's a fundamental misunderstanding of the fact that the Star Wars movies, the main saga movies, are about how the Skywalker family goes around and fucks up the universe for everyone else.
Yeah, kind of.
Like, if this one asshole didn't exist, a lot of bad shit wouldn't have happened.
Well, the only reason he existed through the Sith creating him.
Yeah.
That's not really, like, that's a pretty big handicap.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah. And so they, as of right now, they have not announced a solo Obi-Wan movie. Officially.
I really wish that would happen. Or a Qui-Gon Jinn movie.
Do you know why they never announced a official Obi-Wan movie? They haven't announced it.
Why?
This is a rumor. It hasn't been announced yet because there's still a chance of an appearance by Ewan McGregor in Episode 8 or Episode 9.
As like a Force ghost?
As a Force ghost. I'm assuming, because they haven't had Force reincarnation, or like anything like that, so I'm assuming he's back as a Force ghost, because we already had his voice in Episode 7. In that one scene where it's he's the last voice you hear. And with the Rey, these are your first steps, which starts with the lightsaber.
Uh-huh.
The Rey is Ewan McGregor. Not Ewan McGregor. Alec Guinness. Ewan McGregor, these are your first steps.
Yeah.
So, and the thing is, too, after we saw... At this point, we can spoil it. It's been 2 weeks. As we saw with Fantastic Beasts, it's very possible to get a high-profile actor, or even a lower profile. I think it's harder to get Johnny Depp on set than just quietly, without anyone knowing, than getting Ewan McGregor on set quietly with no one knowing.
And you could just say he's visiting the set, too, because he is like...
Yeah, exactly. Especially if it's going to be done on a soundstage, because if he's doing a Force Ghost, he doesn't need to be on set.
Yep.
He could do it while doing his voiceover for the movie Sing, I think he's in. Oh no, he's in... How about this? Wait a minute. He's doing the voice of Lumiere in Beauty and the Beast.
Oh.
So he's on a Disney soundstage already, so it is very possible for him to be filming scenes for Episode 8.
Wes Anderson is also an actor in the movie Sing. That movie looks weird.
Yeah.
I don't want to see.
It's a Minions.
Too many animal movies.
It's an Illumination movie, so it's not going to be good.
Oh wait, can I spoil Zootopia? Like part of it? Okay. So me and my girlfriend watched Zootopia, and she already saw it, and I've never seen it before. I did like it. That's my review, I guess. But it was
good. Period.
The very first scene, or the second scene with the sheep, that's the assistant mayor.
Yeah.
That when she talks to the rabbit, and that's just like she's the bad guy. I don't know if this movie has a bad guy, like because I don't even know what the plot is yet. But she's the bad guy. That was it was just like all of that just got flashbacks to Hoodwinked.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was a movie.
Do you know in The Secret Life of Pets all the animals have buttholes?
Yes, I did. I saw the Honest trailer, yeah.
Yeah, same with me, and I was like, what the fuck?
I think Kevin Smith complains enough. Two more things a few more things that literally just dropped within the last
5 seconds.
Yeah, like literally. Female-led 21 Jump Street has got Rodney Rothman to be its writer-director. If it's one thing we've learned from Sony female-led movies, of male-dominated movies already, they do fantastically. So you know what? By all means, go ahead. Then Bulletstorm Remastered is coming out at some point in the near future. They're releasing a space-themed DLC for Rocket League. Apparently, it's free. The new arena free. And remember we talked about Death Stranding around E3, that weird trailer with what's it called? Norman Reedus naked on the beach, like holding the aborted fetus.
Wait, what is this?
It's a video game trailer for a game called, all we know about it is called Death Stranding, and they released a trailer, and it's just Norman Reedus, like he wakes up on a beach. There's
Who
an
is that?
He's the guy who plays Daryl on The Walking Dead.
Oh, okay.
There's an aborted fetus, and he picks it up and he starts cradling it.
Cool.
And while he's naked, Mads Mikkelsen is confirmed to be appearing in that game as well. And the final thing, Telltale Games has announced a Guardians of the Galaxy series. So,
Yay.
also, those of you who like Dragon Balls like I do, Dragon Ball Super is coming west with the official voice cast doing the voiceover. So Sean Schemmel, Christopher Sabat, and all of them are all coming back to do their voices of their characters to bring Super west. So let's talk about trailers.
Wait, real quick.
Yep.
That Final Fantasy 15 has a boss that takes like over 30 hours of real gameplay to beat.
That sounds like complete bullshit.
No, because Conan O'Brien does those video game things.
Yeah.
And it wasn't him that said it. Like they didn't actually do it because they tried to play Final Fantasy 15 with who played Frodo Baggins.
Elijah Wood.
Yeah, with Elijah Wood, and then they have like the game expert there with them,
Mm-hmm.
and for like the whole first part of the game, that you play like a prince that has car trouble basically, and the part of the game is pushing a car to the town, and then just like getting money for gas, and it's like really boring. So they were complaining about it, and then they finally fight a monster, and then like they just had to run around it, and it just like a success. And then the guy walked in, he's just like, if you actually want to beat it, it takes like this many hours to actually destroy that, so that they don't want you to do it.
I get it. Okay.
But the entire time they were playing it, they were complaining about how boring the game is, and like, why would anyone play this? Like, a whole part of it was going to look at wedding dresses, like in the town, and just like looking like window shopping for wedding dresses was an like objective in the game. And then when they're like, okay, we're done, and they go to leave, and no one told them that the game developers were sitting outside the door, like listening to them while they played the game to see the reactions.
Yeah, I think what's it called? That's one of those bosses that's there to like you're supposed to lose that boss. Like, but you can. It is possible to beat them. Like they have those in a lot of games that it's created by Square Enix. Like Leon in the first Kingdom Hearts game, when you fight him the first time, you're supposed to lose that fight, but you can beat him.
If you're good enough.
I am. On Critical 2, no less, like, go fuck yourself, Leon. So I'm not gonna pre-order on Amazon anymore. That's
Why?
because I pre-ordered Steep a few weeks ago, and I forgot the release date is Friday.
Mm-hmm.
So today I get the email that, by the way, we're shipping your game, which means they took the money out of my account. $65.
Just out of nowhere.
I wasn't expecting to lose $65 like that, so that's fun. Or maybe they already did take it out. Nope, they didn't take it out yet. Neat.
That's good. Is it pending?
No, it's not even pending. It's... Oh, I'm gonna be, like, broke after that.
It's free then.
Oh, no, they took it out already. Okay, never mind. I have $67, so I'll get paid again. Cool. No, but, like, I got the email, I'm like, crap. I completely forgot that I pre-ordered it, but I also forgot, that because I have Prime still, I get that extra 20% off of new release games. Which is, like, I have that and I have Gamers Club, so I have no reason to ever shop at GameStop again. Like, okay, before we get into the trailers, let me enlighten you about my Black Friday experience at GameStop.
Yeah.
I don't know if
okay.
did I
Yeah,
tell
you
you
just
this
told
story?
me. No, I thought you were gonna talk about all the movies. What?
No, that we're gonna do at the end. I'm not talking about all of them. I'm talking about the highlights with that. But I went to GameStop because they had Dragon Quest Builders for $39.99. I went to actually two different GameStops. The first one didn't have it, so I went to the second one to get it at the mall. You may be thinking to yourself, you brought this on yourself because you went to a GameStop in the mall on Black Friday. I don't believe in blaming the victim on these things. So I go in. I'm concerned as to the thought process of GameStop as a corporation. Because if you have a small location like that, it's like a small mall storefront. So you don't have a lot of room in the store to begin with. And you put these giant-ass displays in that turn the store into 3 aisles. But literally 3 aisles, one of which is the line to pay. And the other aisles aren't like full aisles in like Walmart. They're a passing lane that one person can walk down with no room for anyone else. You can fit one person across. Who thought that was a good idea? Okay? So I go out to the PlayStation 4 games, I find Dragon Quest Builders, I get online with my game. And I'm standing in line, and they have 2 registers open. Black Friday is the day where you find anyone who is willing to work there to answer questions on the floor. Because what they should have done is they should have had a line, people on the floor able to answer questions. So that way they aren't holding up the line, asking questions at the front register. Because people like me, who have a game and are standing in line, just want to get the hell out of there because it was a BS. I don't understand it. If you saw my tweet, that's what I was referring to. The guy in front of me was buying a copy of Infinite Warfare for his kid. The kid couldn't pronounce Infinite Warfare. That's how young the kid was. Like, that should be the line. Like, the line is it should be, like, it's rated M, so it really should be 17. But we all know people don't actually listen to that. So it really, 13 is where I'm like, okay, fine, it's Call of Duty, whatever. But if your kid can't pronounce the name of the game, that's a sign he shouldn't be getting it. Like, that kid's too young.
He should go to, like enunciation classes instead of playing video games.
Or get Pokemon Sun. Like,
everyone can enjoy Pokemon.
Like, that's an age-appropriate game for that kid. Like, or Dragon Quest Builders. It's Minecraft, but with Dragon Quest. There you go. But yeah, and meanwhile, I'm in this GameStop, and the line's not moving. I'm sitting there holding the camera, and I'm like, do I want to stand in this line? Like, if I wait 3 months, the game would be down to this price anyway, and if I wait 6 months, it'd be down to $20. So why am I waiting in this line? This is a frivolous purchase store. This is a store you want the line to move as fast as possible, so people will pick up their game that they pick up in a spur of a moment, pay for it quick, and giving them the time to go, is this a good idea? I don't know. And then put it back there and leave. Like, that's why Best Buy, I actually didn't buy anything when I went there. Because I was going to get Watch Dogs 2 at Best Buy with my discount, but the line was way too long. And they only had one register open. Like, what the fuck? It's Black Friday. I went at noon. Why do you have one register open?
It's like they don't want to sell things.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so I literally walked up to the front, saw the line was wrapped around, like in my store by me, it's, the front registers are by the front door, and then it's like the, appliances are right next to it. It was back and wait, like, walking through the appliances aisles, and I'm like, fuck this, I'm not gonna stand in the line. Well, my brother told me, you're not standing in that line, and I'm like, whatever, I'm not gonna stand in that line anyway. But yeah, so it was not worth it for those things. But Walmart and everything was like, Walmart was actually pretty nice on Black Friday. It was like dead in Walmart.
Well, because you don't need to go to Walmart Black Friday deal.
Yeah.
There's better stores to go to.
Right. So let's talk about trailers. I picked, first of all, Rogue One had another trailer, which I was going to talk more about, but it appears to be a remix of the old footage. Like, there's nothing new in it. It's just like, what's it called? Did we talk about the Kyber crystals?
I don't think so, but that does not sound familiar.
Okay. The Kyber crystals are what give lightsabers their power.
Oh, wait, okay, maybe we had to talk about this.
But they also are what power the Death Star.
Oh, okay, I did not know that.
That's why, this planet...
So the Death Star is a giant lightsaber?
Yes. So Space Vietnam, the planet this is taking place in, like the scene where it's the giant the walkers.
Yeah, on the beach and whatnot.
Yeah.
That is
Um.
Asians running around.
So that is where you can harvest kyber crystals to power your super weapons. Um. And Jin also has a kyber crystal on her necklace. How that
Oh.
how that'll come into play, I'm not entirely sure. But
So they're like one crystal away from completing the Death Star, and then they throw her into it, and then it blows up. Or it fires.
that's how they destroyed Alderaan.
Yep. Yeah, it will be like it's actually gonna go into episode 4, and like other stuff that's going in time.
That would be.
It's gonna retcon all of episode 4.
That'd piss quite a few.
I'd kind of be happy. Like, if that did happen, I'd kind of be okay with it. Just to go on YouTube and watch people's reactions to that happening, because it would be hilarious.
And I think Josie meltdown would be perfect too. Like she would have a meltdown over that. So the 3 other trailers that I picked for this week, we're getting into the Oscar bait season. So we got La La Land, we have Jackie, and we have Manchester by the Sea.
I really have no interest in seeing any of those movies.
Well, La La Land is a musical.
La La Land, all that reminds me of is the movie, like, I think it's called, like, Going Down in La La Land.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, like, I forget where I heard of it, but it's about a guy that comes to LA to be an actor, and then he has to do gay porn because he can't be a real actor.
Nice. This movie does not seem similar. Emma Stone
and they
plays
both have La La Land in it.
Emma Stone plays an actress who can't get a role. So she does not turn to gay porn, though. She goes to a club and meets Ryan Gosling, who is a club singer who can't get a job. And they have quirky adventures together.
Is it upbeat?
Yeah, it's an upbeat movie.
Right.
It's a musical. There aren't very many downbeat musicals that are like well received as movies.
Oh, okay. You said well received. I was going to talk about that stupid, not what's her face, the one that's always smiling that everyone on the internet loves.
I don't know who you're talking about.
She's the cops one.
Oh, Anna Kendrick.
Yeah, she was. I think she was in a musical that was about like people getting a divorce, and it looked really bad, and it was really bad.
Oh.
It's called like 5 Years or something.
Oh, I don't know. What's it called? I think you can make the case that Pitch Perfect is a musical. You could probably make that case.
Yeah, but that's not a drama.
No, it's a comedy. Jackie, not sure how I feel about that movie. Natalie Portman's accent is distracting in much the same way Will Smith's accent from Concussion was distracting.
Where's Jackie Kennedy from?
I don't know.
I can look it up right now.
Oh yeah, we're both sitting at computers, but I have no idea where we can find out where Jackie Kennedy came from.
Oh, she's from New York, so she's supposed to have a New York accent.
That is not a New York accent. I don't know where.
She should have just talked like a normal person, because like Jackie O didn't have like some thick like Bronx like New York accent.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm pretty sure she was born in the Hamptons, so I'm pretty sure she didn't like talk like someone like stereotypically from New York. So
that's gonna hurt her chance of winning an Oscar, I think, because if it hurt Will Smith, it's gonna hurt her. And the one I'm most interested in is Casey Affleck's Manchester by the Sea.
That's what I just looked up. What is it?
It actually looks pretty good, and what I've seen so far from reviews is this movie has the highest chance of winning Best Picture.
He was really good in Interstellar.
Casey Affleck? Oh yeah, he was in Interstellar.
He was the sun. It opened. It does have a good luck charm because it opened 2 days before my birthday.
I'm gonna go see it this weekend, I think. There's also another political thriller coming out, which actually looks pretty good. Starring Jessica Chastain.
Oh, I really want to see that. That's the one where she like takes on the gun. She's like a lobbyist that takes on the gun.
Yeah, and Jack McCoy's in it, so I can't not see that movie.
Oh yeah, he plays like an asshole.
Yeah.
And John Lith. There's like a lot of people, and I think John Lithgow was also in it.
Like, I don't care about who else is in this movie. Like, fucking Sam Waterston's in this movie. I will see anything Sam Waterston's in.
Maybe he'll like stroke out and die because he gets so like excited. He like worked like in the newsroom when he worked himself.
That's hilarious.
When he got like too worked up and then died, and then they had like an acoustic set at his funeral.
We don't need to have that happen here. Like, that was over the top. By the way, something I thought of the other day about the newsroom. Do you remember how the newsroom opened?
Do you mean the 10-minute like intro, or like when the actual show started?
How the actual show started, not the intro.
When they would like be just talking around, and all of a sudden like alarms would start going off, and then some big news story would happen.
No. How the first episode of the TV show started.
Oh. No.
It was
the college. Is that when
yes,
the college thing? Yeah.
The Make America Great Again speech.
Oh, maybe Donald Trump really likes the newsroom.
Yep. Donald Trump has really good taste in movies, by the way.
Does he?
Yeah, in his top 10 list are Good Godfather Part 2.
Okay, so that's if you ask like most people, that's all. Part 2 is up a lot. Because
10.
you look at the movies.
Yep, I like the actual list.
The original Birth of the Nation.
The original Roots. That's a movie though. Yeah, I just like watching black people beaten. What else? What's the movie? Yeah, that's pretty movie. Such episode.
I think.
Episode 3 is the best of the underwhelming movies by a long shot. I think it's what's it called? I think it's an underrated movie. I'm gonna be honest. I think the ending is what hurts it a lot. It's one theory.
Yeah, Bloodsport is his second.
Yeah.
With Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah. This is what we elected as our president. I do think that what's it called? When you do a prequel movie, the end of the prequels has to set up where the sequel is going to pick up, or the original is going to pick up. This movie does a very poor job of that.
Mm-hmm.
Because despite having a 30-year gap between the end of this movie and the next one, there's a lot of we have to rush everything into the right spots. Like, okay, yeah. I think the reason why I love this movie so much is no matter how many times I see it, that scene on Mustafar when Obi-Wan appears on the gangway of Padme's ship, you get like it's just like the moment of like, here we go. Like this,
and the music is like one of the best like music scores in a movie of all time.
Yeah, like it is hands down. Like, okay, it's not the best. The best in Star Wars is the what's it called, the darkened Cloud City carbonite chamber when Luke comes in and to fight Vader.
Yes.
Like that's the best. But this is second. Like, no other moment in Star Wars hits the hype of this moment. Like, they built up to it well, and you were just ready for it. Like, this movie does lag a little bit in the middle.
That would be really funny if, like as a joke, George Lucas made the prequel trilogy, but then he never shows how Anakin became Darth Vader.
It's just 3 movies of the Jar Jar and young Anakin adventures.
Yeah, like he doesn't even grow up, and then it just like 20 years later, that he's Darth Vader.
No, it would have been hilarious if it's just like the first 2 movies are exactly as they are, and then the last movie is just George Lucas with his middle finger up.
Yeah.
For 2.5 hours, which, depending on who you ask, that's what the movie was. But again, I've said it before, they have, these directors and writers, they owe you nothing. Like,
yeah, it's gonna make what I want to make.
Exactly. Don't feel personally insulted that they didn't do it the way you would.
They don't care about you.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
remember that.
Yeah, after I ranted at length earlier about how Arrow is stupid because of what the writers do.
But that's a critique. Like, you're not taking it personally.
Yeah, like I'm not
there's a
like
lot of people that will like when a movie's bad, they like take it deeply personally.
yeah, like the entire DC fandom.
Yeah.
Um,
And then go, well, they take it more personal from the like critics, I guess.
the prayer circle was hilarious. Like, come on. But yeah, I think I don't know. Do you have any thoughts on this movie?
I think it's the other prequel movies. Like, if it's just a movie by itself, then it'll be fine. I enjoy. I don't know. I agree with you where I don't think the prequels are that bad. Like, there are much worse movies than the prequels.
Yeah.
Like all
I've
three
seen,
of them.
hate to say it, I've seen a lot worse Star Trek movies than I have seen worse Star Wars movies.
Yeah, I haven't seen all the Star Trek movies, but I trust your judgment. The third one is definitely my favorite prequel. I think they get better with each one. I think you'd like the first one better than the second one.
Yeah, I go in like the best is 3, second is 1, and the worst.
I
is
like
2.
a lot of backstory, so I like the second one.
All the forced romance in episode 2 drags it down, I think, because there's no chemistry between Hayden Christensen and Natalie Portman, and to an extent you can't blame the actors, because if you watch the gag reel, they have better chemistry on the gag reel than they do in the movie.
Maybe they just didn't understand what was going on.
Like it's so weird to think about, but like they do know what they're doing. They are both capable actors, and Hayden Christensen to a lesser extent than Natalie Portman, who has an Oscar. But like the performance is phoned in by Hayden Christensen through the entire prequels. Like, oh, so did you see the honest trailer for Finding Dory?
Yes, I did. That was
Where
funny.
it called her reverse Anakin. I don't know. I feel like the prequels need to be defended more. Not because they're like, pinnacle of cinema or anything, but just they don't deserve the outright hate that they get.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Because if you can sum up your problem that you have with episode 1 with, well, Jar Jar Binks is in it, then I think you're misunderstanding what's happening. Like, the character's distractingly annoying, but it doesn't drag the whole movie down enough.
Mm-hmm.
Like it doesn't.
No matter what, the movie would have been reviewed bad, I think, or fans wouldn't have liked it. I'm pretty sure it was critically reviewed well.
Looking it up,
but there was such high expectations.
Well, I think what's it called? I think the number one problem was they all had much continuity between them as episodes 4 through 6 did.
Mm-hmm.
Episodes 4 through 6 were in threat. And we tried what the threat was. There weren't like bad guys. Way too many bad guys over the course of the prequel. I'm not saying what it got in Tomato Phantom Menace. But yeah, if it didn't have Star Wars attached, it would have been received a lot better. But the name of Wars in the title, it got rigged down. That's how I feel about the movie. Also, I touched on the score. Like, the cinematography is really good, which a lot of people don't give. I'm not entirely sure why. Like, you're not gonna, like, get stabbed if you say, oh, the cinematography was good. The prequel, it was. It did a job of, everything was very well framed and, all that. By the way, we don't really address this, but the Clone Wars movie was atrocious.
The second one?
The movie.
Oh, wait.
The animated
one
that came out in 2008. Yeah.
I always forget that. Oh, wait. The reviews were initially good for The Phantom Menace, and then started going down because critics all suck each other's dicks. But then this one critic said that The Phantom Menace was better than Jurassic Park. Which is wrong.
Burdened by exposition and populated with stock characters, The Phantom Menace gets the Star Wars prequels off to a bumpy, albeit visually dazzling start, which isn't wrong. Then Episode 2 says, Attack of the Clones benefits from an increased emphasis on thrilling action, although they're once again undercut by ponderous plot points and underdeveloped, I'm going to assume, characters. Yeah, underdeveloped characters. And then Episode 3, with Episode 3, George Lucas brings the second Star Wars trilogy to a suitably thrilling and often poignant, if a bit still uneven, conclusion. Like, that's like, I don't understand. Like, the violent hatred toward these movies. Like, they're, like, if you think anything more of these, then this is a good distraction for 2.5 hours of my time. Then you should probably reconsider your life a little bit. Like, even the good ones.
Kevin Smith said that The Phantom Menace was better. I don't know, he said he'd rank it right after Empire. So, and I don't know which one is his favorite though.
I think Empire is everyone's favorite. Like, because Empire is hands down the movie.
No, I think it's debatable.
No, I don't.
Be between 4 and 5.
If you can go between 4, you can go between 4 and 5. But I think, personally, I think it's not really a contest. I think because
I don't know, because 4 is just a movie by itself. That's why I like it so much.
Well, 5 is also, but 5 does more with characters. We're getting way off topic.
5 ends on the cliffhanger that you need 6 for, and you need 4 to go into it.
Not really. You can watch 5 without seeing 4.
So it just means a lot more if you already have seen...
Right, it means more. But the characters are developed enough for the movie to be able to stand on its own. Now, the ending isn't a cliffhanger either. The ending is still a solid ending where you don't need the third movie. Like, it doesn't end with a big to be continued. It ends with them looking out on the galaxy, now knowing, like, they know something else has to happen, and they're ready for it. But it doesn't end where you have to see episode 6. You can still end it there.
I don't think if you end there, then nothing changed except Han Solo is basically dead, and Luke got his arm chopped off.
Yeah, I don't know. It just I'm not one of the people who's like the movie was dark. It's good. Like what they call Jubilee in X-Men Apocalypse. Who's like it wasn't afraid to have a dark ending. That's why it's good. No, it's good because.
Which they definitely just stole that from like 100 other movies that have also said that.
Yeah, exactly. But like I think the number one thing the Empire has going for it is how character driven it is, because there's no action for the entire middle of the movie. From the time they leave Hoth to the time Luke arrives on Bespin, there's no action. It's all just people talking. Like, and that's why the movie works so well. It's because it's a drama, it's an action drama that doesn't focus on the action. You can remove the action and it's still solid, but the action makes it so much better. And I will concede that the fight with Vader does lose a lot of its meaning without Episode 4.
I go back and forth on it. Because part of me doesn't want to say it, just because everyone else says it. But I'm still not such a...
contrarian.
Contrarian that I would say like Episode 2 is the greatest Star Wars movie.
Yeah, exactly. Like no one says that. Like it isn't even like it's not. There's so much of that movie that's just dead. Like and poorly acted dead. Like I can deal with dead. I can't deal with poorly acted dead. So how would you rate Revenge of the Sith?
And it's also hard because I have because I saw it like when it came out in the theaters. I don't know how old we were, but not that old.
We were in 6th grade.
Yeah, 6th grade. So I loved all of them when I saw them for the first time, like because it was just fun. So I still like this one a lot. So I would say like 7.5, 8.
Yeah, I mean, because for me, what I'm thinking is, with movies like this, you try to rate them as an actual movie. Like all these big blockbusters, you try to rate them as an actual movie. You try to look and see.
Star Wars is hard, though.
Well, no, but like, even Marvel, you can't rate it against an Oscar movie. Because it's not. You're not going to hit the same story. You're not going to hit the same like character development or anything like that. Because people come in to see things blow up. Same thing with Star Wars to an extent.
For Marvel movies, you can. DC movies,
okay,
you can.
No, you can't. Lex Luthor's motivation in Batman v Superman was as developed as Ronan the Accuser's in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, but he was like, but the acting.
No.
Blows your mind.
No.
Oscar worthy.
Okay.
No one's talking about that Oscar buzz.
No, they're not. We have to have critics like your movie to be considered for the Oscars. What I was going with was with these you have to really go with rewatchability. I think my number one metric for these, and it's would I watch this movie again? And I would say yes.
I have.
Based on the frequency that I have rewatched this movie, which Peter can attest to, I gotta give it like an 8.
He's almost watched it as many times as he's watched Age of Ultron.
No, I've watched this movie way more times than Age of Ultron. If for no other reason than this movie came out in 2006. So it's been 10 years.
Oh, that makes me feel old.
Yeah, for the last 10 years I've been watching this movie. And like I am unashamed of watching this on DVD. And buying it on my PlayStation.
I still want to buy all of them on Blu-ray. I really like the
Steelbooks
that you had.
Yeah.
Or have.
Yeah, those are really nice. Hopefully they keep doing them though. Because like otherwise it's just an unmatching set, and then I get really like upset.
That'd be funny.
Borderline autistic like
The
that.
Force Awakens was already a little bit unmatching.
Oh my god! Don't even get me started on that. Like how?
Avatar.
Yeah, like oh my god. Oh yeah, I completely forgot about that too. The Avatar DVD box sets, one was slightly taller than all the rest. I don't understand why. Cause like the box that the DVDs come in fits into it with a little space that would have made it even. I don't understand. Anyway, on the Black Friday, what did you buy on Black Friday?
I bought a camera for my girlfriend for Christmas that was on sale on Amazon, and it's waterproof and drop proof, and it's a digital camera, so it's pretty nice. And I bought myself House of Cards Season 1 on Blu-ray, and many of you right now are thinking, why did he buy them on like DVD? Because he has Netflix. But who knows how long it'll be there. Now I have it on Blu-ray, I have it forever, and it was $dollars for the entire season of a show that I'd love. So and it came with special features too. So that's why I felt justified in buying that. I also bought the Witch on Blu-ray. It's like $10 shit. It's like more control with Black Friday. Just because I'm trying to save up some money now, because I've passed the mixes. So I'm gonna save up a little bit.
Yeah, I had off control. So I went in. I went in.
Yeah, I heard like 40 movies.
Yes, I'm gonna tell you all of them. I'm gonna give you the I didn't buy any full price. That's the thing. Got really good deals on this stuff. So I got The Pacific on Blu-ray. On DVD, and I got Band of Brothers on DVD, both for $10 each. Thank you to that. Then Back to the Future, 30th Anniversary Trilogy Collection. Then I got Harry Potter Complete Film for $20. I got all 3